Jurassic Park 3 is the third installment to the franchise, and it's not directed by Steven Spielberg, nor is it composed by John Williams, who were previously involved with the first two films. This film brings back Sam Neill and Laura Dern as their iconic characters from the first film, as well as new additions such as Tia Leoni and Frank Gallagher himself, William H. Macy. This is my second time watching the film. It was a breath of fresh air and a lot better than The Lost World that was just not good. Oh, here he comes. Oh, the number one fan right there. Oh, wow. Oh, he just slapped the out of me.
Keep my favorite dinosaur movie out your mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a Lost World joke.
Keep my favorite dinosaur movie out your mouth.
I'm going to. Okay, today we're gonna award a review. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hash Project. I'm John Rodalaza, and hopefully that wasn't too outdated. I had the plan to do that intro and delayed this video quite a bit, so I still thought it was kind of funny. It gave me a chuckle. So, anyways, we're here to review Jurassic Park 3, the third installment to the franchise that brings back two of the original cast members of the first film from 1993, Sam Neill and Laura Dern. Arguably my two favorites. I love Jeff Goldblum, dude, but we saw what it was like to see Jeff Goldblum and that character that he plays, Ian Malcolm, in a film by himself. And in my personal opinion, it just doesn't work. Don't slap me. Don't do that. No. Okay. So yeah, that's how I felt about that film. This one, like I said, this is my second time watching it, and it was really good, better than I remember. So let's talk more about it. Right out of the gate, the first thing that I really enjoy about all three of the films, yes, there's aspects that I enjoy of The Lost World. The thing that I love about all three of them is that they feel like real life human beings going through this dinosaur crisis. There's nobody who's stepping up to the plate and trying to fight these dinosaurs, trying to save the day. They're trying to survive. And that's the comparison that I would like to draw to once I get to the Jurassic World films and I start talking about Chris Pratt's character. I forgot his name, Owen something. He feels very much like a action star character, whereas Sam Neill is still a dope character. He's still really well written and well performed by Sam Neill himself, but he doesn't feel like he's the superhero. He just feels like our main protagonist trying to survive, and we're there the whole way. That's also a really good aspect about the Jurassic Park films as opposed to Jurassic World. I feel much more connected to the characters, the main cast, because they feel human. They feel like they're us in a situation. I certainly wouldn't start acting like Chris Pratt, thinking that I can control raptors and whatnot. Like, I could not do that. Sam Neill brings a weight to his role where he feels like the alpha male of the group, but he's still human. He's still running away from these dinosaurs because they're terrifying, dude. And they really are. These effects, man, these practical effects in these park films, it's incredible how they're able to capture that stuff and make it feel real. There are certain shots with that when you compare the two from like a park film as opposed to a world film, you could just tell that there's a lot more CGI going on. It's because that's the more popular thing to do, and maybe it's the easier thing to do. Maybe practical effects are just a little too expensive nowadays. And while CGI isn't cheap, it's certainly something that they want to do and they want to pull off because that's what the Marvel films are doing. Marvel films are riddled with CGI, dude. Like, sometimes it's really good. And I'll be honest, the park films, look, they have some CGI, but it's mostly practical effect, and I would honestly prefer that over World. When we'll get to it, dude, like, it does have some really good CGI. The big thing is we get the return of Sam Neill and Laura Dern's characters. She's not in it as much as he is. He's very much the main character of the film. She kind of just pops in the beginning, a little bit in the middle, and at the end. She's not in it that much at all. So it's really just Sam Neill following the new characters played by Tia Leoni and William H. Macy. They're out to find their son, who was on some trip with like their uncle or something, or a friend, and he got lost. So they hired Sam Neill because he's a doctor and a paleontologist, and they thought he would help them find the child on an island with real life dinosaurs, because paleontologists deal with real life dinosaurs, right? But I get it. They probably heard about the events of the first film, and that's why they called him, because he had some experience with dinosaurs. But honestly, why would you call upon someone who's had a traumatizing experience with dinosaurs? Because I think it's safe to say he had a traumatizing experience with dinosaurs in the first film, almost dying from them. Why would you call upon him and kind of trick him in a way to bring him back to that island? Like, why? Why would you do that? With that ridiculously silly setup to the movie aside, it's actually a very fun and entertaining thriller of a movie. You get to see a whole new set of characters going through this dinosaur epidemic on this island. I forgot what island it's set on. It's set on a separate island. I think it's the same one that they went to in The Lost World, if I'm not mistaken. This movie takes place on one of those islands, and the kid's lost. And it's a really interesting dynamic. Once you start to unfold what these characters are all about, you start to realize that, oh, these parents, they're not actually together, they're separate, but they came together on this dangerous island to search for their child. And that's like a little bit of a love story. I like that, dude. Like, they were able to come together one final time to find their son on this dangerous ass island. Like, that's cool. I like that aspect of it. It made me instantly like the two characters. Man, this is a much darker film than the first one. Both the second and third one are going in a darker direction. Like, there's a lot more moodier scenes that have darker colors and tones in them. You don't get that vibe of this movie is a nice family-friendly movie, even though it is. It's about saving family, but you don't get that vibe. It's really dark at times, and it helps, dude. I think it helps stand out. It's not a carbon copy of the first film. It may come across that way because they're all going to an island full of dinosaurs. Blah, blah, blah. That movie is about a park of dinosaurs that slowly crumbles and the dinosaurs get loose. This is about going back to an island that's already run by dinosaurs, but it is still just like, a group of people going to an island of dinosaurs. That's the general plot. But I think both of these movies, the sequels to the original Jurassic Park, do a good job defining themselves as their own thing. They're not trying to copy and paste a similar plot. That's what a lot of films do, and a lot of people will point out that, oh, well, that's what I feel like the prequels did of Star Wars, and that's what I feel like the sequels did of Star Wars. These movies, I feel like the Jurassic Park films do a good job defining themselves as individual films, and Jurassic Park 3, I think, is the second best of the trilogy. This film is directed by Joe Johnston, who directed Captain America: The First Avenger. I did review that, so if you guys want to go check it out, go do so. It's one of my early reviews. I don't have the green screen, so it's a little interesting throwback, but I like his work, man. I think he's a really talented director, and he does a good job with Jurassic Park 3. It feels very familiar, and it brings some emotions, just a little bit of emotions, back to when I felt watching the first Jurassic Park film. Something that Steven Spielberg couldn't even do with his sequel film, The Lost World. He directed it. It's his film, and for some reason, it just doesn't give me that same feeling as that first one. But Jim Johnston does a good job emulating that feel and vibe of the first one. And Don Davis does a good job with the score, dude. I didn't know it wasn't John Williams, but Don Davis does a good job masking his score, making it sound familiar to the franchise, but also unique to himself. There's definitely themes of his own, and the Jurassic Park classic theme is a little tweaked a bit, so that's cool. I really like all of that stuff, and yeah, those are the big things. I like me the directors, and I also love me a good score, and a good score should stick around for the franchise. If you want to change it up during the second film, that does annoy me sometimes. So I'm glad that this iconic music was just continued on, and it sounds just as dope as it once was in the first film. Also, gotta give a big shout out to the dinosaurs in here. They look incredible. They really do, man. Those practical effects, dude. Oh my god, dude. They're so good. They're really good, dude. There's some really unique looking dinosaurs with scales on their back. Like, there's a one that it's almost all red. Like, he looks insanely cool. I bought into all of this. It just works for me. This movie and the first film work for me almost on the same level. There's still like an unprecedented magic to that first film that The Lost World just does not touch, and the Jurassic Park 3 is climbing towards. It's not quite there yet, but those are the two films that I walk away with this initial trilogy and go, yeah, That's Jurassic Park for me, honestly. It is a shame that we didn't get to see these three reunite in this film. We just got Sam Neill and Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum in the second film. They really should have done something to an extent to have them together in this third film, or even a whole trilogy. Like, that would have been cool if they were just involved with the whole thing. Maybe that would have been the missing link of the second film. Perhaps, I don't know. But I think that's the one advantage that Jurassic World has over the Jurassic Park franchise, is that you get to follow the same group of characters, or at least the same two. I'm not sure if I don't remember if the kids from the first World are in Fallen Kingdom, but you at least got Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt from the first one, and then they're into the third one now. So guys, those are my thoughts on Jurassic Park 3. Let me know down below, do you like the film, and what's your favorite of the original Jurassic Park trilogy? I can agree with you if it's the first or the third one, but we gonna fight if your favorite one's The Lost World. I'm sorry. All I'm gonna say is Lost World was my least favorite of the three. I'd put Jurassic Park 3 right above it, and then Jurassic Park, the original, at number 1, because it's the gold standard, dude. Like, of dinosaur movies, it's the gold standard to me. So leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys. Be sure to stick around, because I will be posting my Sonic the Hedgehog 2 review very soon. You might want to stick around, guys, because there is more to come.